What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the bilingual stock market channel again. Let's go ahead and talk about some stocks and about the new red day that we had today in the markets once again. And today, my friend Mario is joining me. What's up, bro? How are you?
Hey Alba, thanks for having me. I'm good. How are you?
How's it going? Pretty well?
Yeah, not bad. Nothing
you
to
you
complain.
you buying puts left and right?
In BBY, yeah.
Yeah, same here. I made
Yeah.
some bucks today, $250 actually, on Best
Oh,
Buy, and I
it's nice.
also bought back some calls of Baba.
hmm
But regardless, bro, this is a very tough market, right? To take
Volatile.
trades. Very
Volatile.
volatile,
Yep.
right?
hmm
If you happen to be run in the intraday direction of any trade,
Get
you get
slapped right
whacked
away.
like right away.
Yep.
Correct. Okay, Mario. Let me ask you
hmm
something.
Yep.
What are your thoughts about new home sales today? This was
Terrible.
an unbelievable miss, man. So it came
Terrible.
out at 16.6% versus, a decrease, right, of 16.6%. This is a month over month reading
Yep.
versus 1.7% estimate. This is
hmm
a huge miss. So do you
hmm
think this is positive? Is this negative for the markets? What's your take on this?
There are two ways of looking at it, man. One is like the one which you said in our Discord in the morning, right? The demand is reducing.
Mm-hmm.
If a lot of people are not buying houses, the demand slows down, which brings down the prices of the houses as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way of looking at it. But the other way is inflation is too high, mortgage rates are too high that people are refraining from buying, and it's like the psychological element comes into play, right? It's like you're waiting for prices to come down, so you're not buying it. So we have no idea how long the people will keep on waiting, and that might cause some demand destruction as well. And
And
the
yeah,
other way of looking at it, right? Like it's just like people can't afford it anymore because of the inflation. So
yeah,
that's
but
other way of looking at it.
correct. But so this is a demand issue for the most part. So
hmm
let's say that that's a very acceptable take. So
hmm
inflation is high, so people can no longer pay for expensive houses,
hmm
and that's the reason why we saw this massive drop when it comes to new home sales, right?
Yeah, mortgages are way
Last
too high.
month,
It's like, yeah, 5% or something, right? The
correct,
mortgages,
but
like no one wants to pay that much.
correct, but that's what the Federal Reserve is looking for. Obviously, they won't say it, like straight up, like yeah, we want to, destroy demand. They won't say it, but they want
Yeah.
demand to come down. They
hmm
want unemployment to go higher, obviously, but Powell cannot say that, obviously, right?
hmm
So, in my opinion, here we are in a situation in which bad news is good news for the markets. So, we are seeing how the demand for new houses is decreasing for whatever reason, because
hmm
you could be perfectly right, Mario. Maybe the reason behind this is the fact that prices have gone up so high that not most people cannot afford a house, but that is obviously going to bring prices down, and that's what the Federal Reserve is looking for. So, in my opinion, I am a bull. I know you're a bear, but in my opinion, this is bad news, and at the same time, you know how it works. Bad news sometimes is good news for the markets, right? So, this is interesting. I was listening to an interview of on CNBC of Professor Jeremy Siegel. He's a professor of economics, and he was
hmm
saying that the reduction in money supply in M2 is real, Mario. That money
hmm
supply has decreased a lot, and he said during that interview that that's a positive, matter when it comes to reducing inflation in general terms, right?
Hmm.
So that's what
Interesting.
he said, and he's not a bull. He's been, a very tough critic of the
hmm
Fed, but he said like, yeah, money supply is decreasing a lot, like a
hmm
lot. He said something like 13 or 14% throughout this year. And
hmm
yeah, if we reconcile what Professor Jeremy Siegel said with this terrible report of new home sales, we can make the case that maybe the economy is starting to slow down, which is what the Fed wants for the most
So,
part.
have you considered this scenario though? Economy is already slowing down, but inflation is let's say we got the CPI report, right?
Stagflation.
And
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Correct.
That's my point.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
inflation never comes down
I don't
and
rule it
demand
out.
is slowing down.
I don't rule it out. I saw an interview with the CEO of Bank of America yesterday. You know, in the
Mm-hmm.
Davos summit
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
on Davos or Davos. It depends on the
Yeah.
pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
So, some people say Davos, the other other people say Davos. So, and he said that that balances in Bank of America are still very strong. So people still have a lot of money in their bank accounts, and that they still have the capability of spending their money, but they are being cautious because
Mm.
we are supposedly going into a recession. So
Yep.
according to what Jamie Dimon said, and according
Mm-hmm.
to that Jamie Dimon said yesterday that the
Yep.
clouds that are over the U.S.
Storm
economy
clouds.
might dissipate. So we have a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of contradicting information, Mario, and
Yep.
I cannot say with a 100% of certainty that we aren't going into a recession. I cannot say with a 100% certainty that we are not going to see a stagflation.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think, Mario, and obviously you know that I have a bias. I am a bull.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this mechanism of hiking interest rates has always worked out, and I think that on this occasion, whether we go into a recession or not, the Fed is going to get away with it. They are going to bring inflation down. So that's what I am thinking about. And I believe, and this is a question that I want to ask you, Mario. And this is a question that some guys of my Patreon told me to ask you about today during the filming of this video. I
Yep.
believe, Mario, and figure this, I am a bull. So figure
Mm.
how bearish is the sentiment of the markets. I think
Okay.
that these markets might bottom out in September or October, whenever we have 2 or 3 consecutive positive readings when it comes to CPI, which
Mm.
by the way is coming out on June 10th. And I am
Mm.
thinking about a possible bottom at around 3,500. I am talking about the S&P 500. I am talking about 3,500, or maybe worst case scenario 3,400, which is give or take the pre-COVID-19 high for
Yep.
the S&P 500. So, and obviously I am a bull. If
Mm.
if I tell you, Mari, if I ask you the following question, let's say
Mhm.
that this correction doesn't turn into a secular bear market. Let's say that we bottom out this year. Let's say that the Fed can actually control inflation. Where do you think a bottom is likely to be in? Where are we going to find a bottom in these markets? Believing that we aren't going into a depression, believing that stagflation, isn't going to be an issue. Let's say that the Fed controls inflation, they keep on hiking rates, and let's say that maybe in September, October of this year, maybe we can accumulate 2 or 3 consecutive positive readings when it comes to CPI. In
Mm.
that situation, where would you be seeing a bottom over here? And if you want to pull up a chart of the SPX or the
Yeah,
SPY, go
sure.
ahead.
Let me share the screen just a minute.
Yeah, sure. I was told to ask you this question, so okay.
So to briefly cover your point,
Mm-hmm.
if inflation comes down lower by September or consecutive readings, I'll be very happy, not gonna lie, because at the end of the day, it's just not about stock market. It's also about the regular day-to-day lives of people too, right? So I'll be
Correct.
more than happy that if the inflation comes down by September or October, as you said.
Okay.
But stock market doesn't always reflect the economy, what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
The
like
stock
we know
market
that.
is a leading indicator of the economy,
Mhm.
obviously. Yeah.
So sometimes it's just like if for 2021, if you take a look at the stock market, even after getting series of bad reports and bad data of inflation, we always tend to gap up higher and higher and higher, where
Mm-hmm.
like bad news used to be good news, as you said.
Correct.
But the problem
Yeah,
is it used
we
to.
had the Fed with us, right?
Yep.
Yeah, printing out
We had.
money. Sure.
Yep. We had the Fed with us. Plus, we also had the bull trend intact. So
Mm-hmm.
every bad news was considered as a good news, and they just bought the dip and they just pushed it higher and higher and higher. Right now, the trend is not in our favor, though. So
Absolutely.
any bad news is going to be treated as the worst news ever, and any good news will just going to be brushed off. Like, for example, you just see some rallies like this,
Mhm.
and then like in one day they'll just reverse completely, like totally every single thing
Yeah.
whatever made for the entire
And
week.
you know that I am holding SPY puts. I am
Oh yeah.
very, very bearish as of now over here, Mario. I don't see
Mm-hmm.
any reason whatsoever for the markets to go higher other than, you know, one bear market over here and one bear market rally over there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see any reason for the markets to definitely bottom out over here. However,
Yeah, there is no reason though. Like fundamentally speaking, right? Fundamentally speaking, there is no reason for SPY to like bottom out over here and then keep
correct.
marching towards all-time highs. You're right. I agree with you on that.
But thinking about that possibility, the Fed brings inflation down.
Hmm.
So and that is gonna and by the way, that's something that Bill Ackman said today, Mario, that the markets are going to bottom out as soon as they realize that the Fed did the right thing in order to control inflation. That's what he said. We are bottoming out
Hmm.
as soon as the markets realize that the Fed was as aggressive as necessary in order to control inflation. So, say that inflation starts to come down.
Okay.
In what level do you see a bottom throughout this year? Say September or October.
Right now we are sitting at 8.3%, right? So it all depends on the individual sectors. Like this is the pattern which we are having right now. So one sector underperforms, let's say one sector underperforms this month. For example, energy underperformed this month. It was down like what, 11%. And in the next month, that's the sector which outperforms the other sectors. The sectors which was leading in the this month was lagging the next month. The laggers were leading the next month.
Right.
So there wasn't a consistent downfall. I'm pretty sure in the June CPI reading, what we're gonna have, the energy prices are going to go up higher. Like you see the prices in the gas pumps already, like we're not going down. We're back to the highs again. So it's going to be the same shit again with the energy and the food prices. It didn't come down in the last CPI reading. I'm pretty sure it's not going to come down this
Yeah,
CPI too.
they have a heavy component when it comes to energy, obviously, right? So
Yep.
yeah,
And
and
this CPI,
the core CPI is a tough one, Mario. It
yep,
includes it includes flight tickets
transportation.
and
Hmm.
public transportation. So
Yep.
see, core CPI doesn't include food and energy. Yeah, but you have public transportation and
But it's all
you have flight
connected though,
tickets,
right?
right?
Like
So yeah,
if you want to like take transportation into the account, you can't take transportation without looking at energy costs. If energy prices goes higher, the cost of transportation is going to go higher as well. So
absolutely. So yeah, that's what
June
I'm saying.
CPI,
Core
it's not
CPI is very tricky actually. So
yeah,
um,
it's all interconnected to one another, right? So I don't think next CPI is going to come out as soft as these people are expecting
No,
because the energy
I don't
prices
expect
went
that. I
higher.
don't expect that. I mean, if you ask me, Mario, I am
Hmm.
expecting a let's say an acceptable shift when it comes to inflation between
Hmm.
September and October. That's what I'm thinking about. Forget about June. Forget about July. Also, I mean, from here until September, let's say we're going to have at least two more hikes. 50 basis point each in June and July. So that's a point that I want to get across here. That I see let's say an acceptable decrease in inflation readings between September and October. So that's why I believe that we might be bottoming out somewhere between September and October. And that's why I was asking you
I agree.
if we keep on dropping from here until September or October with some bear market rallies here and there, as we have been seeing as of now. Where do you
Mhm.
think the S&P 500 could be by September or October?
By September or October, I mean, if we keep on like dropping like this, a trend considered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the next support comes in at the levels which you said, which is at the COVID highs, like 324 in SPY.
Okay.
I mean, we can make a case that like either 350 will bring in some levels, the one level which you said, but
Mm-hmm.
if 350 doesn't hold, we're looking at all the way down to like 338 or like 323 worst case scenario. But
Okay.
again, we never know though. We never know at the end of the day what's going to happen. But if you want me to make a prediction, I would say like 350, like which was the highs of COVID.
Okay.
So it makes sense though, like
350.
erasing all the gains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we coincide on this, Mario.
Hmm.
If you ask me now, with the current situation, with the war in Ukraine still going on, and you tell me 3,500, let's
Mm-hmm.
sign. I am signing up, man, for, yeah, count me in for 3,500. I think that
Yep.
might be, and this is going to be an extremely healthy correction for the markets in general terms. Okay, bro,
Mm-hmm.
let's go ahead and take a look at some earnings report. Let's go ahead and take a look at Intuit, which
I
just posted
and
earnings.
you.
They are going, they are going higher after hours, but mind you,
What's the ticker?
the Intuit. Let me pull it up. I don't have it handy, so
I
let me see it here.
and
Intuit, I can tell you. Hold, let me pull it up here. In
oh, I got it.
okay,
INTU.
okay,
Oh, they're actually going higher
yeah. So far,
so
tomorrow
far.
10% down. Dude, I mean, Zoom killed it yesterday, Mario,
Mm-hmm.
and they barely. And Zoom was barely able to pull off a green day today. Unbelievable. So the stock of this company is 80% of the highs.
Oh yeah.
They up guided, beat across the board when it comes to EPS and revenue. And I don't know. So, I mean, how much Zoom did go up today? Let me pull it up. I don't want to improvise here.
All right.
So
So
Zoom ended up going up today
all right.
3%. Nah, come on, bro. I mean,
3%.
unbelievable. Let me see if I
Yeah.
have the earnings report of Intuit over here available.
All right.
Yes, I have it. So I have guidance. Okay, EPS came in, adjusted EPS came in at $7.65, beating
Mm-hmm.
the estimate of $7.58, and sales came
Mm-hmm.
in at $5.60 billion, beating the estimate of $5.51 billion. So this was a beat across the board, and I have guidance. So they see, let me see, where is guidance? Okay, Intuit says Q4 2022 revenue to decline from 8 up to 9%. Sees adjusted EPS at from 94 cents up to 1 cent versus 96 cents estimate. So
It's
they
pretty
see
good.
they see a decline in revenue, but yet still they are going to be above the estimate when it comes to EPS. So let me see sales. I have sales for full year 2022. 12.67 billion dollars versus 12.32 billion, and adjusted EPS for full year 2022 should be at $11.74 versus $11.66 estimate. So this was a very solid report, Mario.
Wow.
Even though they are saying that revenue in the next quarter it might decline from 8 up to 9%, but
Oh wow.
but guidance for full year 2022 is very solid. So what are you thinking about in technical terms over here, Mario?
Uh,
This was an acceptable report. So
you know
there you
how it
go.
works.
Yeah. So where should we buy and put tomorrow at, Mario? Jesus, what a
So
bear market, man.
I mean, like if you take a look at the charts, right? We've just
Mario,
been
if I,
trading
I,
in
I
a
gotta tell you
range.
something.
Yeah, go
When I
ahead.
took the trade on Best Buy today,
Uh-huh.
it made me feel awful because the trade, Mario, wasn't challenging at all. It
Oh yeah,
was
it's
it was
easy.
an easy trade. So
Mm-hmm.
from a trading perspective, Mario, when I closed the trade, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta be honest with you, I was like, this is like when we were buying, higher multiple stocks back in January of last year.
Yep.
So this is easy. You just buy a put and that's it. It goes
Bro.
down.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
just I just waited for Best Buy to make a little push higher, and the
mm-hmm.
second it found its first resistance at $75, I grab puts.
Shot.
Easy,
Bro.
that's it, man. I mean, there's no, it wasn't a challenging trade. Oh, the markets are
Easy.
going up, but this company posted a poor report, so let's get puts. No, it made me feel, Mario, for real, like if I were taking a trade back in January of last year. So no challenge at all. No challenge at all. Just grab puts, let them run for 30, 35 minutes, close the trade, and that's it. I mean, come on.
Yep. Same happened with Beyond Meat as well. Like they had some bullshit news today morning, right? So they just like
Kim
gapped it up to
Kardashian,
like
right? Yeah, Kim Kardashian
look at
signed
this.
a deal with Banner, something like that. Oh, come on, man.
Bro, look at this. Like, I mean, I don't even have to say anything. Just look at this chart. $26 all the way to like 22
Wow, that
in
was an
one
easy
day.
one.
In one day.
That was an easy one. Yeah, this
Bro,
is a put
it's
options. This is a put options market, Mario. No
good
doubt
galore
about
it
it.
is.
Yeah,
Yep.
no doubt about it. Yeah, sure. Okay, in the
They
case of
didn't even
Intuit,
do anything, bro.
where should
Okay,
we where
I
should
into
we get inputs at?
in case of Intuit, right? Like if you take a look at it, we've just been trading in range for like so long. We didn't do anything for the past like what from May 12th to like right now. It's just been range bound. So the question right now is, are they gonna break above this range and then try to start pushing higher to like 379 or whatever it is, or are they gonna get rejected at 370 and then going to plummet down?
Most
Most likely.
likely, it
Most
pulls
likely,
up,
yep.
fails at 370. We grab puts and lock in the
Ride it
profit
all the
30
way.
minutes after that, Mario.
Yep. Ride it all the way down to like 365 or something, and then like yeah, close the trade, close the laptop, and then move on with the day.
And you run away with your profit. All right,
Yep.
let's go ahead and take a look at Nordstrom, JWN. This one is going up
JWN.
after hours as well, and this
Oh
is a retail.
wow.
Yeah, this is a retail, stock. So
I wonder what did they say in their earnings. Like they missed earnings, I can see.
really, what did
Oh,
they
they
do?
missed on the EPS. They
Okay.
gained on the revenue. They missed on the EPS. Well,
Do
I
you have
wonder why
guidance
they
there?
gained on the
I can pull
revenue.
up guidance if you let me
Yep.
do it on Thinkorswim. Let me
Just a
see.
minute. Yeah, go ahead.
Because guidance is so important nowadays. So
Mm-hmm.
let me see. Oh, Mario, you where are you at? There you go. Here. Okay. Let me minimize you over here and pull up Nordstrom. So let's see. Where can we get our puts at tomorrow? So yeah, this is a strong candidate, man, for puts. So
Oh, it's
I
in a
have here.
downtrend, man. Easy.
Yeah, EPS came in at a loss. These companies are making any money as of now.
Mm-hmm.
A loss of 6 cents, missing the
Mm-hmm.
estimate of 5 cents. So yeah, this
Mm-hmm.
was a little miss. Sales came in at 3.47 billion, beating the
Wow.
estimate of 3.28 billion. So they
Mm-hmm.
beat on sales, missed on EPS, by a little, by her. Okay, full year 2022 adjusted EPS should be at $3.50 versus $3.12 estimate. So this is a big beat. And sales growth should be between 6 up to 8% year over year. So they are up guiding, bro. When it and they are up guiding a lot when it comes to EPS.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, after the report of Zoom, bro, this thing is coming down to tomorrow most likely. So what are you thinking about in technical terms?
In technical terms,
Yeah.
I wonder why these whenever these retail sectors like give us a higher revenue, my mind always goes to like, yeah, of course you're gonna gain higher revenue
Because of
because like you
inflation.
just increase the prices on everything.
Okay, there you go.
Insane.
Okay, Mr. Bear, that's fine.
Bro, I mean, you gotta agree with me on that
Yeah,
one.
I
Like
agree. I agree with you
bull
on
or
that.
bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but wage inflation, is lower than the actual inflation. So maybe the customers won't be able to catch up with inflation. We'll see. But yeah,
You think the
obviously,
prices will come back down? It only goes one way.
yeah. So whatever. That could be the case. Inflation is going to keep on going higher, so we're gonna be fine. We have pricing power, so that's fine.
Yep.
Okay, Nordstrom.
In case of technicals, right, I would just
Okay.
watch out for $23. $23 is important. If they decide to like rip higher, I will start looking for shorts at $24 and $24, $24.50.
There you
Yeah.
go. Sticky note moment, guys. Nordstrom fails at $24. Go grab puts. That's it.
Exactly.
Easy money. Better market.
Yep.
You grab puts, you make money. That's it.
We have like a $2 downside, right? So for example, let's say like they open about $23 tomorrow, they will have that push higher all the way to $24, get rejected right away, come back down to $22, do this range for a while, and then decide what to do. Depends on what the broader market does.
Correct. Awesome. Perfect. Let's go ahead and take a look at Toll Brothers. This should be
What's the
looking
ticker?
ugly. Toll, I think, is the TOLL. This thing should be
Toll
collapsing.
Brothers.
This is a home builder, bro. Take a look.
Oof. Nice.
Take a look. I wanted to buy puts, bro, but I never.
Glad you didn't.
Yeah, this thing is. I know it's up after hours. It went up. It went up after hours, Mario. It is
Yep.
up 4%.
Yep. I mean,
So-
tomorrow will come back. Don't worry about it. Tomorrow will come back.
Oh yeah, it is gonna it is gonna give back all of these gains, and,
Yep.
and obviously Mario, maybe the market's already priced in a horrible report because all of the home builder stocks have
Yep.
gotten killed. So this might be the case of of Toll Brothers, right? Let me.
Oh, look at this packed this thing range in this stock,
This is
right?
a
Like
this
it's
is an
just getting
extremely ugly looking short. This is a short
yeah.
100%. And on top of that, remember, the markets are convinced that we are heading into a recession, not to mention stagflation. So
Yep.
obviously, this is gonna be this is a textbook bear flag. So this is a strong candidate for puts tomorrow. What did they post, Mario? Do you happen to have the report?
Oh, yeah, I do. They did post the beat on both top line and bottom line. They have the earnings EPS at one expected was 1 point, estimate was 1.50. What they reported is
185.
1.85 in EPS. And in revenue, their expected revenue was 2 billion 77, I mean 2.07 billion. And what they reported was 2.278 billion.
Yeah, there
So
was
it
a
is a
beat across
beat
the
in
board, but obviously,
yep.
real estate is coming down, Mario. So this report basically shows what the company did before. This
Mm-hmm.
doesn't reflect what the company is going to do from now and on.
Yeah, it depends
So
on can you look up for the
yeah.
guidance,
Let me
like
take a
what
look at
they
the
say?
guidance. I
Yeah,
think
you
they
can go
should
ahead.
have. Maybe they up guided. I mean, I don't know, but they shouldn't have up guided,
Mm-hmm.
and mostly after the report of new home sales that we got today. So let
They
me
might
see.
pull up the what Snapchat CEO did, like just asking you to buy now to prop up the stock
Yeah,
price and then
unbelievable,
like dump
man.
it later.
This motherfucker got on CNBC 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Buy my stock, bro. Buy my stock. Buy my stock. Can you believe that, Mario? And now he's like, oh,
uh,
I mean, the
uh,
situation has changed, so we're going down.
yeah, in one
Bro,
week. Yeah, of
Snap had
course.
its worst day ever today, Mario.
Yep.
Worst day ever. That's unbelievable. So let me see with Toll Brothers. Do I have deliveries, fiscal deliveries? What do I have about guidance? So Toll Brothers sees Q3 deliveries minus 2.75 thousand units. So they should be selling 2,750 fewer homes. And
Oh,
full year 22 deliveries down 11,000 up to 11.5 thousand or 11,500 units. So they are, they are down guiding over here, Mario, clearly.
yep.
So sales are going to be down in Q3 and also in full year 2022 by something like 11,500 units. So this was it was a good report at present, but when it comes to what the company might be doing in the future, it was a horrible report.
Yeah, so the guidance is like you're not satisfied with the guidance, whatever they gave. You think it's
No, not at all. No, not at all. It's a
okay.
very weak guidance, man. Sure, absolutely.
Mm.
So, in terms of puts, what are we buying puts?
All right,
Let me know.
let me
Let
share
me
the
know your
screen.
thoughts.
So it is like having a negatively sloping 20 SMA, negatively sloping 50 SMA.
Mm-hmm.
And plus if it's still on the range though, that's something we got to keep an eye on. Like if you take a look at the charts, it's still on the range of like between $45 and to the downside and $48 to the upside. And if you want to short it, you can just take the risk at $47 and then get stopped out if you start closing the day above the 50 SMA and then like get confirmation the next day. So I would personally like to go short at $47 if offered there, or if they decide to get rejected at somewhere around
Yeah,
20 SMA tomorrow.
you and I have the same method in order to short stocks. I
Mm-hmm.
never short that support, Mario. Never. I
Nah,
always
yeah,
short that resistances, always.
yep,
So we have the same approach. And
yep,
and that's something that I tell the guys of my Patreon all of the time. If you're going to short any stock, if you're going to get puts, buy puts at resistances. Obviously,
yeah. It
yeah,
just doesn't make sense buying puts at levels where you know that the buyers will step in.
might step in.
That's
Correct. Exactly.
I mean, it's a new trader's mistake, right? They will get into the puts right at support, thinking that the support will
Correct.
break. It's like, yeah, once it breaks, yeah, you can get in. Like, you don't have to be first in the trade. Just wait
Correct.
for the support to get violated. So
Correct.
it's like, yeah,
Talking about puts, Apple. Where are you buying puts tomorrow?
Apple. I didn't see
One,
what
one,
they
one
did
of your favorite
today.
stocks to short ever, Mario. I think that it
Oh,
closed above 141, right? Which
oh
is an
yeah,
important spot.
nah, it closed above 140 though. I mean, I'll take 140. It's fine. Like 140 is pretty good. I mean, if they come back to run a test to 139 tomorrow and held, you can take the
We
risk
can go
over
long
there.
there, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
If
you
that
can take the
support
risk.
happens to be held up to
Yep.
143, 144.
Mm-hmm. It's like probably an inside day in Apple today, right? Like we just like held on to we had a big huge green candle yesterday
Mm-hmm.
from like 130. It had a range from like 137 to like 143. So if you take out one, you can just trade this range as long as the Apple is having this inside day, right? If you got into 139 in calls tomorrow, you can ride it all the way to 143. So if it breaks above 143, that's a confirmation that Apple might go all the way to run it to like
Ah,
$147
that
or
would be
not.
a sweet trade, man, over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yep.
139 is the most important spot
Yep.
to keep
139
a
is
close
something to
watch on
watch.
tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
perfect. All right, bro. So thank you very much for being with me over here once again. Please tell the
Thanks for
guys
having
about
me,
your
bro.
Patreon, man.
Yep, I do have a Patreon. I have like three different tiers where I post updates on SPY, QQQ, and the technical analysis on different types of stocks which I'm watching on. Yesterday we shorted BYND and we went short on Roblox at $30, and we're still holding on to it. We do have some nice plays over there. There's a lot of good people as well. Alva
Yeah,
is a part of the
very
community
nice
too,
Discord chat. Yeah,
and
correct.
yeah, so go ahead, check it out. Like we'll
What about your live streamings? You're going live how many times a week?
Yep. For now, it's 2 times a week. For now, so I'm still getting used to the new schedule of live streaming. I'm still like getting used to that. So it's kind of new to me, so I'm still learning it to how to do it properly. So for now, it's 2 days a week, and we'll increase it to 4 days in upcoming days.
There you go. I already signed up for his Patreon. I take
Mm-hmm.
a look at your market updates, at your pre-market updates every single morning. Levels of support and resistances on QQQ,
Mm-hmm.
SPY. So that's very useful stuff for us in
Yep.
my Patreon. So go ahead and take a look at the link that is down below in the description box of this video. So
Yep.
thanks, bro.
No problem, man.
Let's see what happens tomorrow. We have the Fed minutes. So
Oh
we are
yes.
going to have some fun from 2 p.m. and on, obviously, right?
You know how it goes. They will rip it up higher, and then like the following three
Yeah,
days,
they,
it's gonna
they
be
dump
red.
it. Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mario. See you
No
next
problem, man.
Thursday, okay? Bye, guys.
Take
Take
care.
care. Bye bye.